Let's bring in Obama senior strategist now, Robert Gibbs. Robert, respond to the McCain ad that Barack Obama plays basketball but doesn't like visiting injured troops.
Well, you know, if you cut into that ad, Joe, you see Barack Obama, some video of Barack Obama playing basketball. The video was shot in Kuwait by Armed Forces Television as he was there visiting troops. You know, I could quote a lot of people, but I think maybe the most eloquent person that talked about this yesterday was McCain friend and Republican Chuck Hagel, who went to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait with Barack Obama.
McCain friend, I think.
But certainly truth teller in saying that the ad was completely inappropriate. You know, Barack Obama is happy. He enjoys going to visit troops, as he did in Walter Reed a few weeks ago, as they did just 1 week ago at the Combat Support Hospital in Baghdad in the Green Zone. You know, John McCain is an honorable man, but increasingly running a very dishonorable campaign.
But the McCain campaign is saying, sure, he'll visit wounded troops as long as cameras are there. What exactly happened?
But here's the thing, Joe.
When did Barack Obama decide?
Here's the thing.
Hold on one second. At what point did Barack Obama decide not to visit the hospital, and why did he make that decision?
Barack Obama made that decision when the Pentagon said that the inclusion of two-star general, retired Air Force General Scott Gration, would be viewed as a campaign event. At that point, what Barack decided was that even him going would be viewed as a campaign event and a political event. Joe, we had told the hospital that despite the fact that we had press traveling with us, we had absolutely no intention of even putting them in the car from the Air Force base to the hospital. Press was never an issue. What we didn't want to do was put our wounded men and women, the wounded warriors that have sacrificed so that we can enjoy freedom in this country, in the middle of a political back and forth.
But Robert, you just told us that he visited troops.
Doing so.
You just told us that he visited the wounded soldiers at Walter Reed a few weeks ago. You also told us he visited wounded soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. Why not visit wounded soldiers in Germany? I mean, it's the same thing.
Well, the difference... No, Joe, the difference obviously is that when he went to Iraq and Afghanistan, that was part of a congressional delegation tour. That's not a campaign trip. It wasn't funded by the campaign. At the point in which we landed in Jordan, this became a trip that was paid for by the campaign. And what we weren't going to do is put our men and women that had been in harm's way and been wounded in the middle of a political back and forth. Barack Obama made the right decision.
Why couldn't he have just gone by himself?
Well, because again, we believed that this would be viewed as a political trip, and we decided not to put men and women in the middle of that. I think we made the right decision. Look, John McCain can't even run an ad hitting us on this without using footage of Barack Obama visiting the troops. It's a ludicrous argument. It's silly, and it just shows you exactly what kind of campaign John McCain is running.
Well, visiting troops, though, while the cameras were rolling, I think that's their argument, that he will visit troops.
Joe, hold on.
Yeah.
Joe, it was Armed Forces Television. It's a television station and a cameraman that are employed by the Army. Okay? We didn't take press to Kuwait. We didn't take press to Afghanistan. We didn't take press to Iraq. If you don't believe me, ask Andrea Mitchell, who was sitting in Baghdad wondering how she could talk to Barack Obama. She couldn't even get a schedule about where he was.
Robert Gibbs, I always believe you.
I think the point, in fairness to Robert.
Yes, Robert.
He's waving his arms. He's laughing.
He's calling my name.
No, I'm just asking the question.
In fairness to Robert, I think one of the points, I mean, the fact that the campaign assumed financial responsibility in Amman, I mean, had he gone, I think he would have probably been, he being Senator Obama, he probably would have been subject to criticism.
Would you have gone?
Had he gone with campaign money. I mean, if it, no, understand, this is a campaign finance trip. Well, in light of the fact this is a campaign finance trip, it would have been a close call. Because if the campaign was paying for this trip, I think in fairness to Robert, and in fairness to Senator Obama, which that point needs to be made even more and more, he would have been criticized for going had he gone, because it was a campaign trip.
Hold on, Robert now has a question for me.
Joe, here's what I'll bet you. I'll bet you right now that there were two press releases that were written by the McCain campaign. One attacked Barack Obama for going to visit our wounded troops during a campaign trip, and the other attacked him for not going to visit troops during a campaign trip. They just had to decide which one to send out. But what Barack Obama decided was, we're not going to put the men and women of our military who have sacrificed, who have been wounded, who protect our freedom each and every day in the back and forth of a political campaign.
You know, Robert,
Barack Obama made the right decision, and Chuck Hagel is right that the ad is simply inappropriate, and it's just simply beneath the John McCain that we thought we knew.
I think probably why people are scratching their heads was there was some confusion at the beginning of this process when you all said that the Pentagon wouldn't let Barack Obama visit, and then the Pentagon came out with this.
Said that.
And then the U.S. military came out and said Barack Obama will not be coming to see us. I don't know why that's a spokesperson for the military hospital. And then
we never said, Joe, we never said that the Pentagon prevented us from going. What we did say was that the Pentagon considered the trip to be a campaign trip. That's when we decided that we weren't going to put our men and women into a political campaign event. Okay. So that's why we decided not to go.